Hello everyone, and welcome to our review about the new cards of Undercards. And we have said it would be a fine idea to make our review on them. I'm a Watchwolf, and we have
Yeah, I'm Teronic Mahek, that's my name, and we have Dave Venius, who tries to speak English.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good enough.
yeah.
For the first card, we have the Ferry, the Mighty Ferry. It's one gold, one attack, 2 life points, and with Death Rattle, when it dies, you gain 2 gold. I don't think this card is actually worth to play.
Well, it's something interesting. If in the future we get more interaction with death rattles, it's maybe of somewhat of use. Right
Eh,
now, nah.
Nah, not really. Um, Next, we have the card Knife to Meet You. That's
uh,
actually a pretty good card for one cost. Okay, you lose a life, but you kill any monster you want.
yeah, see it that way. Instead of just give your turn, your opponent will have one creature, most likely which will be a strong one, like he have cleared your board with Undyne, and then he just strikes you down with here to take out your lives. You would lose you where you would lose anyway the life. You just get rid of your opponent's Undyne, and he will have to replace stuff who actually continuing to make you lose life. So it's kind of worth it. Why in the scenarios you most likely will use the knife, it's not the scenario already are on 0 life and your opponent is having one monster just to make sure you will keep on losing lives and not to waste too much. Why Determination have a lot of board wipes. They have Hypergoner, they got Same Fate, they got Ashgors, they got many ways to just multiple kill everything
Yeah,
that's on the board. So most likely they will play one creature just to keep on attacking you, and with the knife you just can pinpoint that creature that would anyway attack you and make you lose one life. So in those scenarios it's actually a one mana destroy something.
yeah, that's just a good card. Okay, next we have up the Fridge, which I don't know how we should treat this card because cost
Uh,
you.
Basically, you freeze your pyro or you freeze your gaster. You don't care if they got freeze. You
Yeah,
don't care.
yeah, it gives
Or
5 HP. That's you can paralyze the opponent monster. You can paralyze
Mm.
any monster and give it
For
HP.
yes, but
example, MTT Neo, for example. Better than Neo.
Oh, that would be harsh. You freeze everything Neo and then he can kill him that easy because he has that 6 HP.
Yes. That's the
But
yeah,
usually,
most likely it will freeze a gaster or a pyro or something else.
yeah,
you can
That's
use this for
that's
yourself or for the enemy to paralyze this. Paralyze the
probably
enemy
for
or
for
yourself.
both. That it doesn't care if it's your stuff or his stuff. It will paralyze it and give it health.
Yeah, that's no. I think that's all said about the card. It can be useful in many ways. Next up, we have investment. That's actually a really good card. Well,
It's actually the most broken card of the entire set, but yeah.
yeah, yeah. You draw a card, and the card you drew costs 3 gold. It's like you made 1 gold plus, and you don't lose a card. Not unlike Fortune, where you lose a card and get only two. Well, you get 1 gold more plus, but you lose a card. So I think in the future this card will be
Well,
played.
there
Aber
are a lot of I have here a lot of scenarios where you just play investment turn one, you get Alphys or so sorry, or any monster that's just big on toughness or dogma, and you just play it on turn two, and in turn two you already have something that's most likely you would play it like turn four or five, and it's like a huge problem for your opponent since you already have a stuff that's it will be too big for the amount of gods your opponent will have to deal with it. So
Mm,
it's like putting out free stuff in the battlefield, and if you do it early game, just your opponent will not be able to deal with it for the next one turn. So it's like you give a monster two extra attacks, two free attacks.
yeah, it's a really probably the strongest card. But we have also other good cards. Like the Scarf Mouse. This is we had earlier the Necro Jester, which was for 5/5/3 silence monster, and this is just the same but cheaper.
And
A
weaker.
lot cheaper.
Yeah,
The Manuscript Gold are a huge advantage, but a
And
really huge advantage.
yeah, because you can
language.
silence everything.
And let's be clear, Nagatel will have used them only, but only for the silence, not for the 5/3 body.
Yeah, you have just use for the silence. And now you have the Scarf Mouse, which is a common, by the way, not like Jester,
That
who's a rare, which make it you will have this card earlier in your card pool, unlike Jester.
Yeah, just a big one. That's if you want to actually strike with it, but it's actually dying easy. So with this one, you just have it silence something very early on and smash your opponent with your other stuff.
I will say this is a really
Okay,
good card for low level players. Really good
yeah,
and easy to get.
yeah, that's huge. This card it's an all point it's a better card than Jester, just because it's easier to play. And you can play it with the Napster Luke. He got nerfed because he was too strong. He's just only 4/4, but you can, like, if you're 4 gold, you can play blue key and then a mouse, and you have a blue key with 4/4 who does not lose points.
Or your own monsters if they got weak to Victorial.
If
Yeah,
Toriel, if
yeah.
Match Jester, if same fate, if many things.
Well, actually, same fate does not help because you don't restore HP on the monster. You don't restore. They have the maximum HP increase, but they still have 1 HP. So it's not helping really against same fate. Except you're gonna heal those monsters if you play Ezreal. Then would help. But no. Oh, I got my
Yeah,
lungs.
but that's for another topic for
Yeah,
another discussion.
yeah. We have Spiderweb, which is kind of weird, paralyzed for a class that poison the monsters.
But I think it's
Okay,
not that bad.
actually, it's a weird card, but actually, I can see a lot of times just paralyzing the board and gaining one extra attack
Yeah,
to pressure your opponent more. Why? The
yeah,
lower the HP of their opponents, the easier it's for them to just sit back and build up again the board.
I
So
think this card is
yeah, go.
pretty good, I guess.
yeah.
Like Cold Winter.
Yeah, I wouldn't set it the same like Cold Winter because Cold Winter just really strong. I think this card needs a bit of setup, but it still can be really useful in the situation. Like if you're contamination, he places all monsters with KR, then you can just say, okay, they are paralyzed.
And the enemy doesn't need to hit you. You have the card poison.
Yeah, but if you want to, yeah, it's a detonation. It's a good this card has a good effect for the cheap cost, but you must know how to play it. And here we have Big Bob, which is kinda interesting. It's a rare.
Big.
When this some another Big Bob if this monster is still alive after being damaged. So
Another one with 2-3
yeah,
that can clone
yeah.
another himself.
This card actually has a pretty interesting combo with another card, which we come later to, with the Justice card, with the Shootout card, and then you can play it. Big Bob and play the Shootout card, and because it
Well,
doesn't die.
Big Bob is nearly a mini counter to Justice. You just
Mm.
leave Mini Bob there.
Yeah,
Most of the Justice spells
yeah,
don't deal any more 3 damage. Why? Walking have got nerfed. They most likely will play chip shot. They most likely will play other stuff,
mm,
and most likely just never, but never is one shotting everything. It's like one shot something and let the passive just kill it off.
yeah,
And with Big Bob, they can't do that.
yeah,
It's
that's
just
right. That's right. The Big Bob can be a good anti-justice card, but I don't think I'm gonna play it. I think there are better cards you can play from the set of 20 cards.
It's good
Uh,
yeah.
against Ice too.
Now we have the Tsundere Cactus, which can attack. That's too sad. And yeah, the problem is it doesn't even have a taunt. So you need to give this card a taunt to make it useful, because this monster has Death Touch, so it kills every monster it damaged instant. This is
Yes, but you
adds
need somehow to make it attack or give it taunt.
yeah, that's a problem on the card, and also the problem that it costs 3 gold, because you can get it with Assault, which happens to me sometimes, and I played Cactus, and Cactus just stand there and did nothing, because I can't say, okay, attack my Cactus.
And it's if you attack him with
I think his
Well,
connection.
it's most likely will find a home in patience. Why? You play Cactus with a protection that costs
Yeah,
0 mana. You give it taunt. You draw a card from the protection, and you pretty much got to something that will be very hard for your opponent to
yeah,
deal with. And with many other spells patients have, they can just remove the big monster that can one-shot the Cactus. So
mm,
in patience, it's maybe can trade for like 2-3 monsters.
yeah. I can see this card in patience really good. Okay. Next card we have. I made these two together because it's the Deer
Because
Boys.
they are basically from the same area and they are quite connected.
Yeah. We have Diamond Boy 1, which is very interesting. Your monster take 1 less damage, and Diamond Boy 2, you take 2 less damage. Both have 3 attack, and Boy has 3 defense, Boy 2 has 4 defense. And it's they're really good cards, because you if you have multiple copies of them, of Diamond Boy 1, then your opponent needs really strong monsters, and makes cards like Undyne Spear, or Wusha complete useless, because they just do only 1 damage at a time.
yeah, you place one Diamond Boy and a big army that doesn't need to have much life. And Undyne Spears, whatever, useless.
Yeah.
That's
That's a
Um,
really huge counter.
awesome counter against Undyne.
Also,
And
Diamond Boy can make Metaton undying. Why Metaton says it takes one damage, and then the effect of Diamond Boy comes in and prevents the one damage that would be dealt. So if you can get a Metaton and a Diamond Boy, you got a Metaton that's basically is
Yeah,
immune to any damage.
yeah, that's really huge. That's that's like, and then you play like Lead Dummy or something to give him down, then you're mostly invincible. And Diamond Boy 2 is really good against Bravery because they have to deal with this monster first, because they won't deal any damage directly. Because
Yes, since most of the monsters of Bravery have two or less attack.
yeah, exactly. Even if they have 8 attacks, I think they would gonna deal with Diamond Boy 2 first because it's really it's not like Papyrus statue, which you can just say okay, it's stand there, you can leave it. It's more dangerous.
Propel status is more on the offensive. Your opponent takes two. Okay, I'm a little bit more vulnerable to direct attacks, but okay, I can still control the board. No,
Yeah.
with this one, you are saying, okay, I will control the fuck out of board and you cannot pressure me back while I'm pretty much taking less shit from you.
Mm. Mm.
So
you instead
it's really anti pressure. So you
in,
can't pressure your opponent. You have to actually go to the board controlling game, which most likely you will lose against this type of deck. Why the decks I'm thinking that would like to run Diamond Boy 2 are already really strong on playing the board controlling game.
Mm.
And they most likely lose to deck that can just pressure them down.
Yeah. So like Justice.
Or
uh,
determination,
Yeah.
or in integrity. Those three decks are losing
Or
if you
kindness.
can pressure them down.
Or kindness. That's that's really definitive
Well,
then.
depending on the kindness we are facing. Depending on the kindness you are facing. If you are facing like someone like Kian's kindness, it's like, okay, whatever, just pressure me as much as you want. You most likely will be dead before
Yeah.
you actually kill me.
Yeah.
interesting on Diamond Boy 2 is if you have no cards in your deck and your enemy too, and if you play two Diamond Boys, for example, it saves you 1, 2, 3, 4 turns from being damaged. That's
Yes,
really
it actually saves you 4 fatigue damage. Why if you got 2 diamond boys, you take 4 less damage each time. So the 4 first fatigue turns, you take nothing.
Yeah. That's actually pretty nice. We go to on to the next card. We have the Pie. Finally, the Pie, which is a class card for kindness. Removes all negative effects of your monster. So it does remove paralyze. I think that also removes silence.
Yes,
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
any kind of debuff. You can imagine silence, scare, paralyze. Maybe someone have said it's actually can switch back the stats of match jinx if it's from our opponent match jinx. Why it feels like a debuff, but the system will see it as a debuff only if it's from your opponent.
Mm.
So it can clear nearly everything in the game that your opponents can throw in to stop you.
Yeah. So it's a pretty nice card.
Also, another thing here I have to see, if your opponent paralyze your monster and you just unparalyzed with this one, the monster can attack.
Yeah, that's
Unless
pretty
with silence,
nice.
that's you have silence it doesn't have paralyze anymore, but it still can attack.
Mm.
I see one big use in this card with Metaton Neo. If you, the biggest counter against Metaton Neo is silence, and then
Yeah.
you can. Hmm?
Then you can just play Pi. Okay, it's not silence anymore. That's a really good card. I think I will see this
Yes,
card
but
run.
let's be honest. Who is running Metaton Neo in a kindness deck?
No one.
Yeah, that's about.
Yeah,
There's
but
still one life.
you
So
can you
fair.
can you can run Metatron. Metatron is more likely to run, and it's more likely to be silenced.
Yes, normal
But just
Metaton it's just annoying to get
Yeah.
silenced. I play Metaton in my kindness deck and just I'm like, please don't silence it.
Now you have the answer. You can offer Metatron a pie.
Yeah, you give it to the robot a pie and it feels better.
an yes.
Okay.
Okay, next one.
Next one. There is Shootout.
Ah,
Deals 1 damage to all monster.
Or yes,
Even
yep,
for
it's
all
your
like
own.
a very cheap washable.
Yeah, this.
seems really useless
Also,
for me.
many upsets will fit in a lot of Justice deck. Why Justice really needs something to AoE everything down, and they have been using washable in the past without even using Ashcore in it.
Yeah, I think it's
And
the better
and this
option.
one just make and this one makes it a lot better for Justice. Why they just didn't care about Washawo's body. It's having okay, it's having a nice body, but they just wanted to deal one damage to everything. Why most likely from other random different pinks they have make with nearly all the cards or with the passive have let a lot of monsters with 1 HP or 2 HPs, and you just go shoot out, make clear the one toughness and leave 1 2 monsters with 1 HP, and then the passive comes in and kills a second one.
Mm,
So it's on a lot of occasion it can just clear up a little bit the board
yeah.
or damage a lot. And they have said that's even more heavy control Justice maybe be
Mm,
really viable now with this one, and maybe adding back Asgore to the traditional Justice deck. Why originally Justice had run a lot of times Asgore,
okay.
but they have taken out Asgore, which have been way too expensive with Wasawu. And
Mm,
with this one, it's a really nice cost as well.
yeah.
So you can just go shoot out Asgore and clear the board.
Mm. It's for Escorts, it's a really good
That's the
card.
only use.
I think that was the point of the card to be
Yeah, that people
useful for Escort.
uh,
Well,
use.
most likely it's like deal 1 damage to everything, which is exactly what Justice just needs. It just needed to one more card that is AoE focused.
Yeah. Next we have the blue laser. It's yeah,
I really like this one, and I think it will go insanely good with Justice.
yeah. Whenever a monster attacks, it deals. Also whenever an enemy monster attacks, deal 1 damage to it. So yeah, this is. I don't know if it's more like
It's really Justice like. For me, it's really Justice like. Why? It's like okay, you need to attack me to actually preventing me from destroying all your stuff, or
mm,
you will just sit back and let me destroy all your stuff.
yeah. So you have to kind of get the laser fast away.
Yes, generally justice is forcing the opponent to do stuff and very quickly. And this one is like, no, no, you will have to sit back or you will dealing damage to yourself ever more quickly.
Mm.
Which is like the quite opposite, which makes the entire situation a nearly lockdown for the opponent if Justice can get the overhand and place one or two lasers
Yeah.
down. With two lasers down, every time
I
something
think
attacks to deal two damage is nearly impossible.
weakness is if you balance it, then have that makes no damage. That means you have crap in your field,
You
and
are.
place there nothing anymore.
It was kinda laggy. I tried to translate. If you can silence us, this card is screwed. Literally that, right?
Yeah, and your field is
Yeah, you have.
filled with
Yeah, you have lost of space. And since we have
you
Scar
can't place there
Mouse,
any
yeah, and since we have Scar Mouse, you, uh, yeah, this card can be
can do
easily
this really
countered.
well.
Mm. Let's go to the next card. We have Bravery card, Forget Trial. For 4 gold,
This one,
it summons 3 Forget if you have less monsters than your opponent. So if your opponent has at least one more monster than you, you can summon 3 Forgets for the cost of 4, which is it's actually really useful because they are summoned. They won't be paralyzed. They won't get any damage or any effects because they aren't played. They are just summoned. It's a really strong card, and you made with 1 card you make 3 cards.
And actually, in Brave it's quite amazingly easy to have fewer cards than your opponent. Why? Most of the time, Brave is just rushing in, and sometimes you just go for the board clear instead of dealing more damage to your opponent. So
Yeah.
you just can go the classic scenario of okay, my opponent have set a board, I have a decent board too. Let's trade everything and okay, I have lost my 4 monsters. I have killed 3 of his monsters that have been a lot stronger than the 4 I have give out.
Mm.
Let's play the forget trio and get like 6 attack and 9 health in the board back in that can strike again next turn.
Yeah.
And my opponent will actually have to pay a lot more gold to get that much
Mm.
attack back in the game.
Yeah, and also, if you can easily play Grillbee or Monsocket if you already have it on the field, and boost these frogs, and they are really hard to get rid of. Except you have really good board
Forget
clear.
because
And
Forget
with
Trio
cards like strength or final charge, these froggets can get very dangerous.
Yeah, Final Charge is really dangerous card. Yeah,
because Forget Summon you can 3 times you have less monster than your opponent.
you need
That
to
are
have.
much. That are much.
Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, I think
Even
if
much.
yeah, I think if you want to play this card, don't want to have more than 1 monster because you ain't getting 3 Froggets then. So you just brush everything in some monster and kill most of the monsters he have. Okay.
Or the most likely scenario for a bravery scenario that you will just rushing down. It's like okay, I have rushed down. I have get like at least 10 damage on my opponent's face. my opponent's turn starts and he clears my board. Why? If he doesn't clear it, he will most likely die.
Yeah.
So then I get my turn back. Okay, I just fill again my board, and I am ready to strike in your face again.
Mm. Okay, now we go to the next card. It's Koo Fire. This is similar to Vulcan, but it has it's just as the stats are reversed, and it deal 2 damage to the mods in front of it. So
Yeah,
it's it has more attack than Vulcan. That's good, but also that's the problem. The problem is you you have the
you
empty
have to you have to actually start thinking where you're placing your stuff.
yeah, that's a problem on this card. So I don't think this card can be played very well. I think Vulcan is still the better option, or if you want, you go for a full monster destruction. Okay,
Next one,
next one. Here we have the other laser, the orange laser.
which will be auto include in patience,
Yeah,
especially the aggressive patience deck we are seeing.
yeah,
This will
that's
be really good on those.
yeah, that's
Why most likely patience right now is two different decks, or you will play the snowstorm, lock down your opponent, and the
I think Snowstorm won't be will not be required anymore if you have this.
no, let me finish. Uh, you will have the snowstorm patience, or you have the aggressive patience that is like Medusas and memory heads and all kinds of stuff to just destroying your stuff and defreeze to freeze everything and give you more turns to strike your opponent's face. And with this one, you just play this one, play memory heads, and
Yeah.
when whatever something survives, you just defreeze or play other stuff to burn it.
Mm. Yeah, it's a really amazing card for patience. I hope this card will get nerfed because 3 damage to in a patient deck you can't attack with it when you play a monster and then it just dies. Or you have to play something big and it's still 3 damage is a lot. And then and then the big monster can really die fast. Well, except for Toriel, but the other monsters like Undyne or Escor, they were gonna really die fast. Next we have interesting. Oh god, my lungs. We have an interesting.
I really like this bear. It's maybe replacing Jerry. Why? It's,
Maybe no, I don't think so because it summons a gift at the end of your turn. That's okay. It's just
yes, but it's like one gift. You play that, and then that gift comes in. Then your opponents have to deal with the gift, and you can just
yeah,
smashing with a 5/5, and you just can use it for trades or just go for 5 damage, and you're always like taking out one or even two attacking creatures out of your opponent.
I
yeah.
saw
That's like negating two attacks of your opponent. That's quite huge.
the gift is really annoying. I noticed. I saw him
Yeah,
watch fights. It's really annoying. Really, really, really
yeah,
annoying.
but you need
I
to
hate him.
know when to use him. You don't want him to use against patient with Snowstorm. You don't want him to use there.
Mm. Yeah, that's
Yep.
right.
depending on the patient chef.
I'm
If we are going for the really aggressive one, they don't run snowstorm and they just want to empty your board. And this little bear does quite the opposite of them. Why they cannot attack your face. They are more focused on attacking than oh I got a gaster, I kill you.
yeah. Uh, yeah, but with the orange laser, I think the gift beer, even on the aggressive one, the gift won't hold anything because they haven't attacked. Because you get
I
the
think
gift
the
still in
gift
your turn.
I think the gift bear maybe be a little bit nightmare for bravery or justice.
Yeah, I think so too. But against patience, it's not a good card either way. And next we have uh, the only epic card of the new 20 cards. It's
So,
Trader Tammy. I think this.
Oi!
Oi!
I'm here to trade.
Yeah, Trader Tammy is actually a really good card because it can be used in any class because it gives you a random spell of your class. And it's
headshot, cloning,
headshot,
fortune,
yeah,
whatever,
whatever.
everything.
But I think the best use is in Intrigue because they have so much utility with their spells. They can always use every spell they have directly.
Or with justice, you nearly to almost all of justice spells cost like what? Three?
Three.
Or
And yeah, actually,
what?
the punishment will cost
Ju-
3. Then the
yes,
other one costs 5 and 6 and 7. And Shootout also costs 3.
yes. Only headshot is expensive in justice. Nothing else.
Yeah.
So you just play this and you got this injustice and you got a justice that just will be repeatedly striking you down with all kinds of spells and it will be even harder to actually have something in the board without them shooting it out.
The good part of the trader team is because it gives you the card at the end of your turn. So even if it got silenced, you already got a card.
Yes,
Yep.
This is really
100%.
good.
No matter what happens, you have a 6 and a spell. Yes,
Yes.
or more.
It's
That's
really stable. It won't die easily. So, and I think, oh no, we have here noch Big Mouth, a rare.
looks funny.
It looks funny, yeah. This is
Undyne Junior.
actually an anti-bravery card. I have faced it. It kills an enemy monster played with a cost equal or less than 2 and restore its HP. So if you play like Monster Kid, then he will eat Monster Kid and restore his health. So this card is really annoying for bravery player or for decks that use low cost monster like Napster Blook or Tammy's
Yeah, that's a big counter against them.
or annoying dog or Gunner Kid. Gunner Kid, well, Gunner Kid would still get the effect. The monster will still get the effect before it does happen. So the Scarf Mouse can silence
Well,
him before it get eaten.
yes, but
Uh,
a lot of, for example, the G follower one, Goner Kid, we got a lot of cards that are not bravery like and see a lot of play. So
Yeah,
he maybe got a little bit homing against everything,
yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
and it's just like a early game night. Why exactly that's what he is. He's a early game night.
yeah, but yeah, it's kind of stable. 3 attacks, 7 HP. It's kind of hard to get
Also,
rid of.
also, here's a funny thing. Without the discounting of integrity, it actually counts for them too. So If they put a Alphys that's got out of investment, if it kills Alphys, it will restore its HP.
Oh, that's kind of harsh for Turkey.
Yes, while Trinket is just lowering everything down, its cost, and its cost stays on the battlefield if you have noticed. But we didn't really care about that that much since it doesn't have any really interaction other than okay, you got more cheap stuff.
Mhm.
But with this guy, it makes like a lot of monsters. Like it can kill a 4 cost monster, and its ability will still trigger why integrity have make the monster cost less.
Yeah.
Next one,
Next one, we have the Electic Pair, which is for a six
yeah,
five, and
yes,
it just can reset the attack cooldown of an ally monster. I think, yeah,
Have good stats.
I actually call it the final bear. Why it's literally final charge in a bear.
yeah,
For one
final
monster.
beer, and it's just for 1 month, so I don't think it's, I I don't think it will be played in a bravery, maybe in other decks, but I actually don't think this is a really, I don't think that is a good card because for 6 to reset,
Well, in decks like determination or patience or kindness, that's quite often have huge monsters. You just can attack
yeah,
one with your huge monster. Reset is attack again.
yeah, I think it's to situational. I wouldn't play it. It's just
Sure.
um,
For me, it looks really strong. Strong. And you have good stats too.
yeah, but I don't think I would play it. Me, I personally wouldn't play it. Maybe, of course, you can attack with big monster again, but it's up to it's up to the player decision. I wouldn't play it.
Yes,
I don't think.
you would play it while you are more a braver kind of player. So you're thinking more like of bravery. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's not your play style.
it's no, yeah, it's definitely not my playstyle. So, but other cards are. There were actually fine cards. It's actually the last card. Uh, we got one epic, a few rares. I think we got like 5, 6 rares, and we will do later a pack opening, and we will see how many of these new cards we can get. I think that was it. Or do you want to add anything?
Have
Just
you all 20?
There were all 20
yes.
cards. Well, this is the end of the video. Thank you everyone for watching. If you like it, just leave a like or comment, and we hope to talk to you here on Undercards. See you in the next video.